As Governor Murphy stated, we're here this afternoon to say enough is enough. We're here to put our words into action, to ensure that our schools, our communities, our workplaces remain safe from violence. We're here to do what is within our collective power to ensure that the unspeakable horror that took place last week in Parkland, Florida, never repeats itself ever again. And we're here to reassure everyone in this state that as we speak, much is already being done by law enforcement agencies all throughout New Jersey. Since 2007, the Attorney General's office has mandated that every law enforcement agency in this state have policies and procedures in place to enhance school safety in their communities, including school-specific active shooter policies. But as we all know, protocols and policies alone are not enough. That's why law enforcement agencies on a daily basis work with our local schools to train on and to constantly enhance those policies. Since 2010, legislation has required schools to conduct periodic fire, school security, and active shooter drills. And also since that time, the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness, working with the Department of Education, has conducted hundreds of announced and unannounced school visits to, among other things, assess those school safety plans. And while much is being done, and these are just a few examples, and Director Maples in a moment will share others, in the months to come, we at the Attorney General's office will initiate a thorough review of the Attorney General's directive on school safety to ensure that as a state, we remain at the forefront of school safety and that best practices are being shared and implemented consistently across this state. But we must remember that preparedness and response tactics are only part of the equation. The other part of that equation, and the key part, is prevention. When we look at school shootings, in the majority of cases, there have been red flags, warning signs, such as social media postings or comments to fellow students, where perpetrators of violence have made clear their intentions to harm their fellow students or educators. We cannot miss those warning signs. The stakes are just too high. And that's why we will also undertake in the months to come a comprehensive review of the reporting systems that are currently in place and available for students, for educators, and for concerned citizens. And we will examine how those leads are followed up on by law enforcement. Simply put, we need to ensure that each report is made in the easiest way possible, and once those reports are made, that they're followed up on appropriately by law enforcement or the relevant agencies. But in addition to reporting, law enforcement engagement or school-based community policing must also be part of our prevention efforts. The Colonel will address the state police plans in this regard in a moment, but I think it's imperative that our local law enforcement officers engage with their school communities so that they can not only earn the trust of students and educators who can relate to them their specific concerns, but also so they can be on the ground and see firsthand the threats to particular schools. And we will look to ways to encourage these types of school-based community policing programs. Through all of these efforts and others, like dismantling gun trafficking rings that bring illegal firearms from other states into our state, or by ensuring that our state's carry laws are not at all relaxed, we're doing our part when it comes to protecting our most precious assets, our children. But as the governor just said, the federal government must also do its part, and the time to do that is now.